Happening right now, an exciting start to March Madness at the Coliseum. Out-of-state fans filling the stands to cheer on their teams as Greensboro enters its third week at Tournament Town. WF22's Jalen Gilkey is live at the Coliseum. Jalen, you've got the best seat in town today.
Yeah, Ben, there's not a better place to be in the triad than right here at the Greensboro Coliseum as the NCAA men's basketball tournament has returned to Tournament Town for the first time in 11 years. And the fans are out in droves. As you can see, there are very, very limited parking available. I mean, the lot's just about full. And on the inside, the stands were almost just as full. And we're just about wrapped up here with the first half of the day, as Pitt is putting the beat down on Iowa State right now. They're up by 20 points, but no worries. There's still time for you to make your way out here for the second session of the day, and that's a game you won't want to miss, because at 7:15, it's Kentucky. They are taking on Providence, and at 9:35, we got Kansas State taking on Montana State. Now, back to you, Ben, in the studio.
Definitely want to Uber if you're headed out there. Thank you, Jalen. No North Carolina teams were represented at the Greensboro Coliseum, but they're making waves elsewhere. Duke beat Oral Roberts in a blowout in Orlando last night. The 74-51 win sends them to the second round tomorrow. They're playing Tennessee at 2:40. NC State's playing the Crichton Blue Jays right now. As last check, the score is 62-58. NC State is down, but they could turn it around. And unfortunately, our third North Carolina team in the playoffs was knocked out of round one yesterday. UNC Asheville fell to UCLA in Sacramento 86-53. A big part of March Madness is the brackets, and one public figure has a big prediction for just how far Duke will make it. Former President Barack Obama announced his picks on Wednesday. Let's take a look at who he has winning it all. Don't strain your eyes there. We're going to zoom in for you. That's right. Barack Obama thinks Duke is going all the way. Where do you have Duke falling in your bracket, or do you have them going all the way too? What about NC State? Well, Wallet Hub says 80 million brackets are completed each year, with an estimated $10 billion being wagered. Astrid Martinez has more on the fun that even people who aren't sports fans can get in on.
It's that time of year.
You never know what's going to happen.
Where it seems the entire U.S. will go college basketball crazy for the next few weeks.
A 16 seed could beat a 1 seed. There's always upsets. It's a great time.
Basketball fans are trying to predict the winners of 63 games. Not an easy task. The chances of getting all the games right are 1 in 9.2 quintillion.
It's a billion squared. It's huge numbers.
But that won't stop fans from trying.
I just kind of listen to my friends that have more experience with it, but, I get lucky once in a while.
Even CBS News anchor Anne-Marie Green has a perfect way to put the finishing touches on her winning bracket.
First elimination, Baylor. Second elimination, Michigan.
Sports senior writer Matt Norlander gave us some tips on filling out a winning bracket.
We have had a team seeded 5th or worse break through to the big stage, the Final Four, every single tournament over the past decades. Pick a few upsets. Just you got to hope that you hit them right.
St. Peter's was the surprise team in last year's tournament, and soon we'll know who will wear the Cinderella slipper this year.
Okay, you heard him say a billion squared is the odds of a perfect bracket, but what does that really mean? Let's put it in perspective. That number is 1 in 9.2 quintillion. Yes, quintillion with a Q. How much is that? You've got a better chance of not only winning the lottery, but better chances of winning back-to-back lotteries. For the diehard sports fans, here's some good news. If you know anything about basketball, your odds do get a little better. Then they're only 1 in 120.2 billion. A look at how those odds are playing out after the first day of round one play. The NCAA says fewer than 0.02% of men's March Madness brackets remain perfect, mostly due to Furman's upset over Virginia. Even with the bad odds, there has to be at least one person who's made a perfect bracket, right? After all, the NCAA Division I men's basketball tournament started way back in 1939. That was 84 years ago. So in all that time, our Verified team looks at bracket predicting history to find out.
The tournament earned the nickname March Madness because of its upset-fueled unpredictability. So let's verify. Has there ever been a documented case of somebody filling out a perfect men's bracket? Our sources are the NCAA, ESPN, and DePaul University mathematics professor Jeff Bergen. The NCAA says it has never found a verifiable perfect bracket for the NCAA men's basketball tournament. Since 2016, the NCAA says it tracks about 20 to 25 million brackets per year, using, quote, public leaderboards in combination with direct reporting and information gathering with those games, unquote. Prior to 2016, the organization says it relied on games reports as well as online archives to get the best information possible. Two of the most popular bracket games are ESPN and Yahoo Sports. An ESPN spokesperson told Verify in an email that there has never been a perfect ESPN bracket for the men's or women's tournament. So we can verify there has never been a documented case of somebody filling out a perfect men's bracket. And it's unlikely anyone ever will. According to DePaul University, you have better odds of picking 6 people at random on the street and all of them having the same birthday as you.
The good thing about no perfects is that it's easier to win the big pot. $10 billion are being wagered on March Madness brackets. $4 billion of those dollars are in illegal bets. And if you made your bet online in North Carolina, you're part of that. But North Carolina lawmakers want to change things. A bill to legalize online sports betting was filed this week. If it passes, it won't go into effect until next year. A lot of excitement at the Greensboro Coliseum earlier today, and it keeps going this weekend. There are 2 more games happening tonight. Providence is playing Kentucky at 7:10, and Montana State is playing Kansas State at 9:40. Then round 2 happening on Sunday. Those games will be set today. Here on WFMY, you can catch more of the March Madness action. You saw some of it earlier today, but this evening, NCAA coverage runs from 7 to midnight. Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy will air overnight instead, starting at 2:38 a.m. And WFMY News 2 at 11 is slated to start at midnight if the game doesn't run long. Again, 2 more games happening at the Greensboro Coliseum tonight. If you can't go in person, you can watch them both right here on WFMY News 2.